Well, hey everybody, it's Thursday, I guess, the 17th day of April 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. Well, as I said last week, and I said this on Monday's reading too, I'm doing these on Sunday this week because my husband has surgery. And on Thursday, he will have already had surgery, but I have to be here for him to take care of him and all of that. Plus the property and everything else for about a month while he recovers. I'll be doing all that stuff myself. So I used to, but not so much now. But anyway, let's take a look at the rune for today from the Elder Futhark bag. We have Uruz. And Uruz is the second rune of the Elder Futhark. It kind of looks like, and the key word is oryx. So we're talking about strength. Oryx was a ancient bison or bull type creature. But Uruz is about energy shaping matter. Basically, you see the lines that come down toward physical reality. So that's basically what it's about. It's about healing and strength and endurance. But it's about manifesting, really, manifesting or shaping your reality. And of course, you want to do that from higher consciousness, not ego, because ego doesn't get you anywhere except, no place good. So let's see what we have for the Geomancy rune here. Let's, well, I think, yeah, we have Laetitia. Now on Monday, it's funny because we had Puella. Laetitia and Puella are similar types of energy, although Puella is more youthful, scattered little girl energy. But Laetitia is about joy and as opposed to Tristitia, which is sadness, so you get kind of stuck in. But here with Laetitia, it's good fortune and joy and happiness and intuition, strong intuition. It could also have something to do with being a positive influence in someone's life, say a teacher of some kind or a wise mentor or something. It could be the same kind of energy there that, joy, health, laughter, but just being a positive influence in people's lives here. So essentially, manifesting joy, if you will, could be what we're looking at here with both Uruz and Laetitia, shaping your experiences from a joyful standpoint, from a very positive standpoint, as opposed to maybe reacting and shaping your experiences from those reactions, allowing the egoic reaction to shape it. Both Laetitia and Uruz are more higher consciousness based, essentially. Let's see what the cards have to say, though. Give us kind of the direction of things, and then we'll do a... oh, that's interesting. We have the Two of Wands, and we had the Two of Wands for Monday's reading as well. And I said on that one that, especially in terms of the interpretation of it, because the Two of Wands is sort of a business-related thing or a work-related thing, I mean, I gave two ideas of it, personal and business, but probably it was more business related. This may be as well, especially when you see the Seven of Pentacles there. He's taking a look at his harvest, or at least at the plants that are growing and trying to figure out, okay, am I going to have enough? Are things really, or do I have to rethink some things? And I kind of talked about it, if it was business related, how the tariffs are impacting, they're all over the place, that are impacting some small businesses, whereas the corporations might be able to ride some of this out. Small business may not be able to, and people may lose their businesses over it, especially if they're, depending on how they make their purchases for the year, if they do it monthly or yearly or quarterly or, twice a year or whatever it is. Some businesses do it that way. And the tariffs alone on some of this stuff is going to be just cost prohibitive. So they're really having to rethink things. And so that was, I think, probably what Monday's reading was about. I mean, it could also have to do with a decision that you're emotionally upset about. We had the Four of Cups, and here we have the Page of Cups in this reading. So we have cups again. It's just we don't have any swords. Instead, we have pentacles, because we have the Knight of Swords. You can't get stuck in emotion. You have to take action. So that you can then figure out what the truth of it all is, what options you have, and then make your best decision from there. That was essentially there. That was the reading for Monday. But this time, shaping your reality may have a lot to do with the same sort of things. So this could be just an extension of some of the stuff that people might be facing right now, in terms of their success and the direction that they're going. Maybe their job was taken away. Maybe the place they worked at had to close over all this stuff that's going on. And now you may have to look for something else, with the Two. And again, shaping your reality with Urus, doing it from the standpoint of invoking your intuition and your imagination, and Laetitia is saying it's portending good fortune. So it could be something that could work out into something better for you in the long run, either business-wise or job-wise. But with the Two of Wands here starting us out again today, we see a man of means who's holding a globe in his right hand and his staff in his left, and he's essentially created a doorway into the future for himself there, and he has to make a decision now on what that's going to look like for him. The idea of having the globe, it could be anything at all. It could be international, it could be local, who knows what the merchant's business is going to end up being. So again, this may, the readings this week may have to do with people who own a business and trying to negotiate around, whether it's, a business that you have a storefront for, or, maybe it's farming or whatever. You've seen a lot of places that farmers sell their food to, their crops to, have to do with programs that are overseas in other countries where they don't have anything and they need this kind of support. And so a lot of farmers, whether it's selling stuff to school districts, or whether it's selling them overseas to, through USAID, which is apparently no more, or very, very little is left of it. But there were avenues, in other words, for business to do business elsewhere, and it was keeping their businesses afloat. So with all of these changes, some decisions may need to be made here about how you're going to shape your destiny and how you're going to shape your future. The Page of Cups is all pages are students. They're news bearers. They're young people just getting started out at post high school, so college level basically. Here you see a page of cups. You see the water behind him is a bit choppy, if you will. It's pretty wavy there. He's holding a chalice in his hand. He's got a little fish sticking out there, kind of a Piscean card, if you will. But this guy has a lot of confidence. He's discreet. He's imaginative, just like with Laetitia here. He's young. He's intuitive. Again, aligning with Laetitia. You need to stay positive. You need to stay focused. You need to let your intuition. Don't ignore it. If something comes to you and it's even may seem like it's outside the box, not your typical response to something, doesn't mean you shouldn't explore it. It could be what you're looking for. So again, have that kind of confidence and positivity to meet the situation head on, so you can make this decision in a positive way. We also need to do the numerology. I'll do that when I'm done here. The Seven of Pentacles, I typically read as observing what you have, taking stock, and deciding, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need more? Am I good with what I've got? Can I sell what I have? What is going to be happening here? So again, I think that we could even start with this, and I think maybe I'll do that. We'll start with the 7, where you're having to take a look at what you've got and kind of let things settle out till you understand the entire picture, right? Be very positive, be very confident in what you need to do. Understand the whole picture. That if you have enough, great. If you need to make some other decisions about where you're going to sell this stuff to, or the stuff that you need to process things into what it is you are going to sell. You have to buy components from elsewhere. You may have to choose another place in the world to do that if the tariffs on the country you buy stuff from are just too much for you to deal with, because again, you will be the one paying them, not the country in question. And so you're having to make a decision about all of this. And again, how are you going to shape your future? How are you going to shape your destiny? And again, you have to stay positive. Rely on your intuition. Rely on somebody with, in Laetitia, it could also have to do with somebody who is a teacher or a mentor to you, to where you can go and talk to them and get some advice maybe on how you need to see this situation and what options there are for you. You need to do this with some discretion as well, not letting your emotions get the better of you, essentially, and stay very focused and on what your options are and what's going to take you where you need to go. And then you can make the decisions that you need that are the best ones you can make for your business during this difficult and weird time that we're in. You never know what could happen. It could all go away tonight, all go away next week, and everything returns back to normal, other than, some of the like for farmers, not being able to sell their stuff through USAID to get, to sell them to other countries that are in desperate need of food for their people. And so, some places, they were selling into places in Africa, for example, and just to be able to see what's really happening here with the 7 of Pentacles, to understand what you need to do to sustain and your material security, to prevent anything bad from happening where you might lose your business or something. To see what options truly are out there before you let fear take over. And that's kind of been a running theme for the last few weeks here, not letting fear take over, and let that be, because let's face it, we can become paralyzed with fear, and then there's just no way we're going to be able to resolve whatever difficulties we're experiencing, because we're too afraid to even move, right? Or to even look at the situation, where there may be, in fact, other options, other avenues for selling things to other countries, if you will, or going through another country to do it, or however you have to do it. I'm not suggesting any of those are viable. I'm just saying that there's ways out there that you may be able to circumvent some of this for yourself. And if so, you have to do that, obviously. But one more thing here, we still haven't done the numerology. So Uruz was 2 plus 7. That's 9. Nothing on the chord again. Plus 2 is 11. And so, we're looking at the master number 11, which is awakening, enlightenment, illumination, generosity, spirituality. So I think that with the overall numerology of the master number 11, it's really stressing the idea of doing things in a way that reflect the truth instead of living in fear, to awaken to what the reality really is and see what options you do have to be able to make it through. And if you need to make a different decision about your future, the 2 of Wands could be suggesting that as well. And even if it means switching gears and doing something else, that may be the only thing that you can do. But if there's a way through this, then don't, the two of wands here with the man holding the globe, it's suggesting you're not limited by just where you are and what you're doing. There could be other options available anywhere. The sky's the limit, basically. Or in this case, the world's the limit. But you may be able to find other places to purchase from. You may be able to find other places to sell to, where you're not harmed by what's happening right now in this country. So, or prevented from being able just to keep your business afloat. So again, I think that, with the Two of Wands in both Monday's reading and today's reading for Thursday, I think that this is probably more business related than it is personal. But again, you have to, even if it is, you see what you've got going, and you understand what you need to have, what you need to keep your material security about you. It could be that you need to look for another job, perhaps. Or an additional one for a while, if things get a little bit strange for you, and you can't depend on anything right now. Again, you have to be positive. You can't get bogged down by fear and doubt. And when you do that and you see what you really have to work with, then you can make the best decision for yourself, irrespective of what this is about today. But again, I think this is probably business related. So for those of you who are watching that have businesses, you know what I'm talking about. And this is just a strange time that we're in, and where we're just not sure. And so that's the whole point. You got to get sure as you possibly can, to be able to make the best decisions for yourself possible. So anyhow, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the following week we'll be back on the Monday and Thursday schedule when I do these. But again, right now I just need to hang in there for my husband and help him out while he recuperates from his surgery. And so hopefully he will do that in a way that is successful, and instead of the whole thing failing from the last time we did this. So I don't think he did anything wrong at all. It's just one of those things. But we've taken some extra precautions with this time, and kind of sourced out some things for him that might help him do better through it. So anyway, we think it was just one of those things, that can happen. Apparently it does. It happened to my next door neighbor, had the same surgery, and same sort of thing happened. He had to have it redone, and same issue. And so I think it just happens. And unfortunately, my husband and my neighbor, they're the unfortunate ones. What is it, 3 to 5% or 1 to 3% that fail. And so part of his failed, not all of it, but part of it did. So we're back in on Wednesday. So anyhow, again, thanks for watching. Check out the blog over at Stepping Aside. The web address is imsteppingaside.com. And have a good weekend. And come back again on Monday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.